Welcome back. It is the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM. Time to go to Chris Graetz, the Wimmera News sports journalist, who joins me to unpack the latest Wimmera football action. And there's plenty of it to talk about with the great journalist that is Chris Graetz, the roving reporter in many senses. Chris, how are you? Great to be back with you.
Hey, Ellis. Yeah, it's great to be back. Thanks for having me again today. It was the usual busy week, probably more busier than normal, so nice and productive, which is great. How about you? How's your week been?
It's been much the same, plenty going on, as you know, Chris, and there would have been plenty going on in the rooms at Anzac Park at full time last weekend, because what a win for them over Dimboola. Mind you, it's probably not much of a collector's item anymore to beat Dimboola, but I guess it is for Warwick Eagles, given how their season's unfolded. So a 75-53 win. Gee whiz, Dimboola, and I've said this a few times, and I'm aware of it for all the listeners out there who are probably going to bring me up on it, but they are looking forward to Mad Monday now, Chris.
They are. I don't know what's going on there, but I think there'll be some changes happening during the off-season there at Dimboola. They've had a shocking season, and it just got worse. I mean, there was bad conditions all across the Wimmera last week. Lots of wind, lots of rain. It was horrible conditions. And there at that ground, Dimboola had the breeze in the first quarter and actually kicked 3-1 to get a 10-point lead. And then, it was the Eagles. They kicked 4-3 against the breeze, with the breeze in the second quarter to lead by those 9 points at half time. And then, they did insanely well against the breeze to hold Dimboola at bay in that third quarter to take a 10-point lead into last quarter, and then they kicked away early, but Dimboola came back hard. But the Eagles, they just held on for a famous win for them. Their last win came nearly 12 months ago when they beat the Giants by 2 points. And, it was a nice contribution over the scoreboard with 10 different goal scorers. Riley Morrow, again, was one of their best. He's having a sensational season. And for Dimboola, Jackson Calder came back and kicked 2 goals. And it was just, Ben Miller and Jack Lamp through the midfield, their quality that helped them. I mean, as I touched on last week, if their midfield was stopped, then the Eagles had a good chance to win. It looks like that's what happened. So, then the rooms were packed afterwards. You couldn't even walk in there when Wilder was addressing them after the team song. So, they really happy days down there at Warwicknabill, and it's good to see. Did
you do your best little BT impression, Chris, to get in? I mean, sometimes you just got to go the hip and shove in the suit.
No. Well, I don't wear suits, but I got in there and I got to Matt Walder after he addressed the players, and I said, Matt, I want to talk to your captain, Kyle Sheeny, and one of your Adelaide recruits. And then we just went and had a bit of a chat between the three of us. And the Adelaide recruit I talked to was Jake Hellmans, who's been one of their other consistent players through the year. So, it's good. I didn't do any roving Brian stuff because I don't like that, but I did get in there and talk to a few people, which was good.
He's not for everyone, is he? Moving on, Southern Valley Thunder, they got a pretty good win over Minyat Mattel by 24 points, in fact, 67-43 in Hopeton. What'd you make of that result?
As I mentioned last Friday, that if Minyat Mattel at full strength, they would have beaten the Thunder, and if they were, they would have beaten them. They were in the game. They were leading half-time by 10 points, the Boroughs, and then they were only trailing by 5 points at three-quarter time, so they were in the match for a good 3 quarters. And they had a good chance there, but then the Thunder in the last quarter just did what they do best and just kicked away with it, with kicking 3 goals. And they didn't kick a goal in the last quarter of the Boroughs. Again, it was tough conditions, but they were in the game for a long time, which is good for them, because I heard during the week that Oscar Gorth should be back by the end of the season, so his knee injury wasn't a severe one. So that was good for them. And for Thunder, Thomas Clark kicked up 3 goals. Lou White and Sam White were their best players. And, Luke Fisher and Kate Peterin have been great for the Boroughs during the year, and they'll again, good on the weekend for them.
Horsham Saints blew as hard as they could, but in the end, they couldn't blow the house down, losing by 23 points to Ararat, but it was always going to be a very hard task. Pretty decent effort. I assume the conditions might have played a part in this one too, because it was fairly low scoring. But Ararat good enough to hang on by 23 points at Alexandra Oval, Chris.
Yeah, mate, 100%. The weather was, for all conditions, the weather was really bad. I mean, there was snow there in the morning, apparently. Snow on the ground. So that's how cold it was at Ararat. And yeah, it wasn't pretty conditions for football, and Ararat with their bigger bodies would have bullied the Saints around, but the Saints did insanely well to be in there. They were in there for a good 2.5 to nearly 3 quarters, and for Ararat, Tom Williamson kicked 2 goals, and yeah, Ben Taylor and Henry Shea and Patrick Toner were good for Ararat there. They've got their full team back now, Ararat, so looking really good, and yeah, the Saints, they can be happy with that effort. I mean, they had their chance of kicking 9 behind, but so did Ararat kicking 14. So, yeah, they're not out of it yet. So they've still got a chance to make the finals, the Saints.
Finally, Horsham Demons were way too good for Neil. By 34 points, 105-71, the final score. We called it as game of the round. Neil coming up short, but I guess a decent effort from Neil.
Yeah, it was. Again, the wind, especially there at the Horsham City Oval, blows a bit, and they used in the first quarter to get a 13-point lead, and then the Demons used in the second to only trail by 3 at halftime. And then it was that third quarter against the Breeze where the Demons did well to get a 10-point lead at 3-quarter time, and then with the Breeze they just went home with a wet sail. So Neil, they did well for 3 quarters, but that third quarter's the one that killed them when they had the Breeze. They just didn't capitalise, and Ryan Kemp for the Demons kicked another 5 goals following from the Hawley kick last week, and Xavier Bone and Jake McQueen kicked 2 each for Neil. So yeah, no, it was a good result there for the Demons.
4 rounds still to go of the home and away season, and that top 3. It's going to be a great race to the minor premiership. Stall still in it with 36 points in third. Ararat second with 40 points. And Southern Mallee Thunder first on percentage with not even 10 percentage points really separating them from Ararat. So it's really going to go down to the wire, you feel, Chris. Which way will it go, do you think?
I think it's going to go Ararat's way. The Ararat, they've got their full team in at the moment. They're looking really good. Ararat will be the minor premiers. Southern Mallee Thunder, they'll finish on second. They'll get Brad Lowe back soon enough. Stall, I can see Stall finishing in third. And yeah, we've got the Demons. They've made the finals now. They're not going to be out of it. They're 2 games ahead of 5th and 6th, which is Neil and Minyip. Horsham Saints are 2 games behind, so Horsham Saints really need to win. They need to really win after their bye this week. But yeah, Neil and Minyip, it's going down to the wire there. I still think Minyip will make the finals. They're going to get their players back, and they're a really damaging team. If they had a full squad this year and didn't battle so many injuries, Minyip Matoa, I reckon they would have been top 3.
There we have it. All right, well, quickly now, we'll get some predictions out of you because time's getting the better of us. So we've got Dimboola and Southern Mallee Thunder going at it tomorrow. You can only see one winner there, Chris.
Yeah, this won't be pretty. This should be an easy triple-figure win for the Thunder. I'll be shocked if it's less than triple figures.
Can Minyip Matoa take Ararat to a few quarters of competitive football, do you think?
Yes, yeah. Minyip Matoa will be in this for a long way. I don't think they'll get over Ararat because they don't have that full-strength squad, but they'll be in it for 3 quarters at least, and I expect Ararat to get away from the last and win by maybe 3 or 4 goals.
Warwick Eagles in a good position to play Neil, who are coming off a loss. They'll have to travel to Davis Park, though. You'd imagine that they'll probably not be good enough, but who knows, Chris, at this point?
Yeah, who knows? They'll be confident after last week, but they're not there yet. They're not playing 4 quarters, so they've got their win for the season. It's the only win they get. Neil will come back and bounce back from last week's loss, and Neil will win by about 9 goals. 8-9 goals, I would have thought.
So all know they need to win. They've got Horsham Demons separating them from keeping pressure on the top two. Will they win at Central Park?
This is match of the round, obviously. It's going to be a tight one. Horsham beat them earlier in the year, but that was a City Oval. So on the return trip, I'm actually going to tip Horsham in this one. I've just got this feeling that they're going to be up and running and they'll win a tight one by 2 goals.
It is really the round for upsets, isn't it? Chris, before we do let you go, just let our listeners know where they can go to purchase the Wimmera Mallee Sport.
Yeah, so Wimmera Mallee Sport is our sport paper released every Tuesday. You can get it wherever you get your papers across the Wimmera. And if you're not in the Wimmera or can't get a paper, go to wmsport.com.au. You can sign up online for 3, 6, 9 or 12 months. And you can get the digital edition of the paper, and also all our other papers will include it, and that's the Horsham Times, Symbol, the Banner, Rainbow Argus and Warwick Herald, so it's good value for money.